And welcome back to another week of the Wiki Warriors Trilogy. I am your host, Duke Thompson. And on my left-hand side is Moose Anderson. How you doing, Moose?
I'm good, man. What happened? Are you doing this in a submarine or what's up?
Man, technical difficulties, man. But football whiskey, we adapt, overcome, and achieve. So I have to do this through a cell phone.
That's good.
Yes. We're just scraping by on a shoelace budget here at Football Whiskey, and we're trying our best, man. And, sometimes the equipment don't work when we need it to work, and sometimes it works when it does. So no big deal, man.
Usually it doesn't work when we need it to, yeah. But that's all right, man. That's all right. I'm still glad you're here. We're missing Be Easy tonight. I believe he has some shows going on. Be Easy stays busy, and we know that. So
he got called up for a special show up in Fresno, California.
Did he?
So yeah, somebody backed out at some big club there, so he got the call. They said, "Can you come up and do it?" They're like, "Yeah, man." So Be Easy killing it, man.
Good stuff, man. Be Easy's always busy doing something, man. He's always keeping busy, so that's good though.
But I tell you what he's always doing too, man. He's always hating on people, man. Always hate.
There's a lot more
always
when me and you are on the show. That's for sure.
He also too has given up on this. He's given up on the Chiefs already before the playoffs even started.
Because he knows they're going to play the Patriots.
It doesn't matter who he plays. He believes that they're just going to lose no matter what.
Well, I think he believes Andy Reid is going to lose, but let's crack open the pot, Dookie. Let's get into this. Playoffs are here, people. The regular season is.
Oh man! Before the playoffs, man, big news though, man. Garrett is out of Cowboys, dude. He is gone. He is kicked out of Texas, man.
That must have been like the most excruciatingly painful couple of interviews, couple of meetings to go through for him and the Cowboys. It was excruciating to watch online. Like, they took forever, man. Why? I don't understand why they didn't just fire the guy. They roped him along. They let him on, and now he's gone. The anticipation at the end of the season was he was going to stay, but he's not. Jason Garrett's gone, man. So I don't know. They're gonna be searching somewhere, and we'll see who they get. But they got to figure something out because that offense is lethal. That's a lethal offense. And
don't get me wrong, dude, man. No, they ain't lethal, man.
Lethal. With Amari,
that team is.
They are getting it done, and you damn well know Garrett's the problem. You know it. I know. We all know it.
Dak's gonna get done at 8-8 again next year, man. 9-7. This is your Cowboys' curse for Jerry selling his soul for 3 Super Bowls. He should have waited out and tried to have more. But Garrett is gone. He was the Jeff Fisher of our generation. He is 8-8 forever. He is not that many more games above 500. I wrote an article on it about a year ago. And I thought he'd be gone last season, but apparently Jerry said one more chance. And I think they waited a while to give him respect for him because the contract didn't run out until I believe today.
Yeah.
So they kind of wanted to give it more of like, we're not firing you. We're just saying that we're not extending your contract.
That's what they say. They're parting ways. That's how they put it. Yeah, they're parting ways. Jerry Jones obviously felt the pressure from the public because there's no way he didn't. I mean, even people like me, who I'm not even a Cowboys fan. In fact, I hate the Cowboys, but I feel bad for that organization in some ways because they do have a good defense. They do have a lethal offense. I don't care what you say. They were one of the top offenses all year. And the problem was Jason Garrett, and they needed to get rid of him. And the problem now is that, do they give Dak that 40? And that question we can go over in the offseason. We'll see what happens. But
he's asking for it.
Oh, he wants
it. He wants it.
But he won't leave the Cowboys. He won't leave the Cowboys to go get it. I don't believe he'll do it. Where's he going to go? Carolina? You'd rather play in Carolina than Dallas? There's no way.
Well, I mean, if they sign that $40 million contract, then I say yes. I mean, I don't know if Dak's really in it for the winning like Tom is, I mean, Tom is taking a pay cut every year to try to win Super Bowls and get other guys paid. This is how you build teams. And, I mean, I want to say Dak, I loved him from Mississippi State. He's a winner. But it's like, dude, he's like, his whole thing is the salary cap is going to go over the next couple of years anyway. But it's kind of like
it'll go up every few years. He's right.
Yeah, but it's like then what? They're going to be asking for more money in a couple of years because you know that. You're going to hold out again and say this, that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like how much money do you really want, guy? And how much production equals the money you're going to put out? How much is $40 million with a quarterback? You better be getting the playoffs every single year. That's for sure. You better be winning divisional titles for $40 million quarterbacks for $40 million a year. Or $40 million a year, right?
Yeah, that's 40 a year. Yeah, so first of all, that is absolutely ridiculous. Dak Prescott played amazing this year, but like it can't happen. Jerry Jones has to cut that. He has to cut that head off of that snake because he does that, man, and he's not going to build that defense back up. He's got some dudes there that are going to leave. I mean, he's got to pay some guys here. So, they're going to have to sign Amari because, God forbid, Dak only has Michael Gallup. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty, dude. Amari Cooper has made that offense. He has transformed that offense in the last season and a half, and it was kind of upsetting to see him blow it at the end, but I think we all kind of figured what the problem was, and the problem's gone now. So we'll see. I mean, I can't wait to discuss who we think is actually going to replace that job because that is huge, man. That's a big job to take.
Man, but you know what though? It's like when you with that job, I don't think Jay Gett was really the job, man. His problem, he was probably like a little bit of the problem, but man, you know the problem is Jerry Jones. He can't get out of his own way, and his son, he wants to run his team without stepping back, being like, "Hey, I'm just an owner." You know, hey Jerry, you pulled off one humongous trade back in 1990 with Herschel Walker, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got all those draft picks and drafted Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, all those guys. You got this great, man. But this is a different time and different place. Analytics, everything, stuff that like I say, I'm getting older too, and I see technology coming up. I imagine Jay's like analytics this, analytics that. Like it's a different type of game now, and these are different type of players, man. They're not the divas and stuff who will eventually say, "Hey, I'll go finally play." Man, they're going to hold out. They're going to do what they can because they know that somebody's going to eventually pay them or whatever. But Jay's a problem, man, and he's just going to take care of his boys and make it like a family. And you want to bring your friends in, and sometimes it's hard to run a football team. Patriots don't do that. Look how many Super Bowl rings they got. You know, Vrabel is still kind of mad about him being cut from Patriots years ago. He still talks about that. I'm busting with the boys. He was yeah, he said, you know, I didn't even get a call from Bill or anything, and, you know, I didn't talk to him for about 5-6 years. So, I mean, this is the way they do it in business, and Jerry loves to make it too personal sometimes.
Yeah, I don't disagree, man. He's too involved, definitely at times. I mean, the guy's in every single meeting. He's everywhere. I mean, he's embedded into the football operations, which is what he needs to get out of it.
I mean, he's at every single post-conference, post-game conference, man. It's like, come on, Jerry, let it go. You're getting old. Just sit back and enjoy it. Let somebody else do all the hard work, man. I mean, I understand you love football and everything, but you're the face of the franchise, and what you need to do is just step back and realize that and just do all the PR stuff, man. Don't make the decisions. Hire a great GM and because, okay, everybody wants to be a Bill Belichick when it comes to GM. Bill O'Brien is doing that right now. You know, he thinks he's just a stud getting into the playoffs barely with a division win at AFC South. He's not doing that great of a job. Jerry needs to hire a GM, somebody who's not so attached to the team. You know, that's all. To where it's a job, but he won't. He never will. And the next coach has to realize that, hey, you're marrying Jerry Jones for better or worse. So, I mean, and if you cross him, he will fire you. He did fire Jimmy Johnson to win Super Bowls. And brought in, well, I forget what his name was, but he won a Super Bowl, got rid of him too. Just because they crossed Jerry, man. That ain't right. But, hey, he's going to sign Dak, I guess. It's going to be a horrible financial move. But Dak, I mean, you ain't going to show up, dude, because I believe you need a Zeke. I believe you need a Amari. I believe you need an offensive line. You need other players around you, Dak. Otherwise, you're going to be running through your life with $40 million in your pocket, getting hit for nothing.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I mean, we'll see which direction they go. I definitely tend to think that they're going to go the offensive route rather than the defensive route. The Chiefs offensive coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, I mean, he would be an okay fit there. Brian DeBall, the Bills offensive coordinator, he would do well there. So we'll just see. But in other news, let's get away from the Cowboys for a bit here. We're a little short on time, just so everybody knows tonight. I have to be out of here to celebrate my birthday, which was yesterday. So,
oh man, happy late birthday, there, man. Huh?
Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. You're my good friend, man.
Yeah, well, I didn't even know it was your birthday, so.
That's okay. You don't have Facebook, so it's tough to remember everyone's birthday, man. I get it. Don't worry about it.
Wait, man. It's true. I don't do Facebook.
Yeah, you don't do the Facebook stuff. So, in other news, the Washington Redskins have hired Ron Rivera. I think it's a fantastic hire for that organization. I think they need a complete 360 in how they work their team after everything that's happened the past couple of years, and starting with RG3. It's just been ridiculous there, and I think Ron Rivera is a really good coach. I think he's a really good motivator. More than anything, I've seen some of the speeches he's given, and it makes me want to run through a wall. So I think it was a good pickup by then, man. I think it's going to work out for them as long as Dwayne Haskins isn't what his former coach John Gruden said behind closed doors, which is a quarterback that won't be ready for 3 years. I don't think that's the case. I think Terry McLaurin helps him out a lot there. We'll just have to see what they do in the draft. They're obviously not going to go after a quarterback. They got their quarterback. But I think if they build up that defense, Ron Rivera's, he doesn't mess around, man. He's had some good teams in the past. Some of these Carolina teams have been good. Even what he did this year with Kyle Allen was impressive. So, I'm excited for him.
I mean, Ron Rivera, too, was also a 85 Bears, so he has that kind of attitude. The problem with the Redskins is not the coaching. Yeah, he played for the 85 Bears, I believe.
He played for him, and then he was there, if I remember correctly, he was their defensive coordinator, I think from like 04 to 06 or 07. So, yeah, that makes sense. Brett, yeah. Bears, man, that's good stuff. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you.
Also, too, but I believe the problem is, again, with the owner, Dan Snyder. Ever since he's brought the team has been a complete mess. And it just seems like he can't get out of his own way either. I mean, it's just like he screws it up, makes the wrong hires. But this is probably the best hire he's ever done. I think Ron will stand up to him and be like, this is my team. I'm led the team to the Super Bowl before. I know what it takes. I am a Super Bowl champion. Get the hell out of my way, So I think it's a great move for the Redskins.
I don't disagree. I think my only thing is like Ron Rivera. He had a fairly decent career with Carolina. I think he was like just above 500 or just below. So pretty average. But given 8 years and a prima donna quarterback, that's like you just don't know what to expect from him past the first couple of years of his existence. So yeah, I mean, we got some teams looking for coaches now. I think McDaniels is leaving the Patriots after this year.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh, hell, he gone, dude. The writing's on the wall, man. This is it for the Patriots, man. They're moving, they're changing, and Tom may be leaving too, man.
Yeah, well, which is exactly why I spent $360 on 2 tickets for tomorrow's game. I do believe it'll be Tom Brady's last game at Gillette Stadium. He will never let on to it, and part of me believes that. Part of me believes he's not done because it's Tom Brady and he's never done. But
I told you, Ben, it's because of the Peyton Manning thing. It's Peyton's got that little thing saying that he's won a championship with 2 different teams. So Brady has to do that, man. Brady wants to do that. And somebody, a playoff team is going to take a chance on Brady. Now, I say it could be the Titans, man. They don't work out with Tannehill.
It depends on how tomorrow in the next game works out. If the Titans win, man, I don't see them breaking apart from Tannehill. I see them drafting one. I see them drafting one within the first 2 years. There's some good prospects out there, and I think the way he's played this year for you guys, man, and I know I called it, but I don't like to say that because I really didn't know. None of us know.
Yeah, we just make wild accusations.
Right.
Yeah.
Hot take. That was a complete hot take. Nobody in the world would think Ryan Tannehill. Nobody with a brain would think he'd come in and do what he's done for your team. But I mean, it really has been impressive. He's lit a fire under their ass. And as bad as I feel for Marcus Mariota, because I think he got the short end of the stick for most of his career so far. You know, I mean, you got to say to yourself, Tannehill's a great backup to have at least next year.
Oh, absolutely. Although that's the thing that worries me about Tannehill is, hey, if I don't want to pay him $40 million a year, I'm sorry.
That'll never happen. They'll give him a contract for like 10 to 12 million, like, you know, and that's not
or the franchise tag.
Mike Glennon was getting that, or not Mike Glennon. Was it Mike Glennon? The tall redhead that's playing for whoever he's playing for now. I don't know. He's been around the league by now, but for good reason. But yeah, man, it's gonna be a good game tomorrow. But back to the coaches, and back to McDaniels. McDaniels has some interesting prospects out there. I mean, you gotta know Jerry Jones wants him in an interview. Like, you gotta know he's gonna go down to Dallas at some point. But with that being said, I do think he's gonna end up in Cleveland. I think, you know, he's from the Ohio area. He's from the Cleveland area. I just think it makes too much sense. He's got so much weaponry, man, and not one of those guys is leaving if he comes through.
If he, yeah, I mean, he could really take Baker to a whole new level and be the guy who saves the team. I think that he has enough experience with Belichick to shape that team and change the culture. I believe a bunch of guys will fall in line because he'll be like, hey, I've led teams to Super Bowl. I've coached Tom Brady. You got to listen to me, you know.
I mean, it didn't work in Denver, but it doesn't mean it can't work in Cleveland. You just don't know. I'm not buying into that hype, regardless of who the coach is next year, but we'll see.
Oh, I know. No, I ain't gonna buy it till they actually go 8-8. I mean, go 8-8, 9, win more games than you lose, man. You know, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it takes time to do that, go from a bad team to a great team. You know, I mean, Titans taking forever to do it, but they did it. And all these people around here, all the Titans fans here, are complaining about, hey, dude, we have 4 consecutive 9-7 seasons, man. People don't understand how hard that is. There's only 4 teams now that has had that: Kansas City, New England, Seahawks, and Titans. I mean, like, that's damn good.
Yeah,
I mean, you're consistently winning.
Right. You know,
to win in this league, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, people do, but I understand in the grand scheme of things, this is how you consistently get winning like the Steelers. You keep winning every single season and never have that drop-off of what other teams do. Oh, crap, we just lost somebody. We're going to go 2-3 wins. You know, oh, man, like, we just lost a coach. We're going to go to – it's a whole culture change. I think the Titans have really made a culture change. That's what I'm really proud of, too. So, yeah. I mean, to get the playoffs like this, I mean, hey, Brown fans, you talk crap about us. Are you going to beat our ass this year? Where are you sitting at? Oh, yeah, at home, because we beat your ass the first game of the year, you know? I mean, hey. I mean, there's only 12 teams right now that's playing this weekend, so – you know, you got to give it up to that. I mean, even Bills, you know, the Bills went back-to-back. Hey, respect for that too, man. It's not easy to make it to the playoffs. I mean, the Easy is so jaded with his team. I mean, he actually, like I told you earlier, he called me up to talk crap like 2 hours after it ended. You know what I mean? I'm just like, dude, why can't you just let me enjoy the season's over? We're in the playoffs. I feel good to go out and go in against Tom Brady. We beat them before. We can beat them again. This is not the 16-0 team, man. You know, you've seen it. They got flaws, dude. They got holes.
I'd be the first one to tell you that I'm scared for tomorrow. Yeah. No, I've been saying it all week. And I said it to you last week before these final games. It was between 3 teams. It was Tennessee, it was Pittsburgh, and it was Oakland. Tennessee's the one team I would not want to see, especially in weather like we're going to see tomorrow, which is a rain-snow mix. I mean, Derrick Henry scares the shit out of me. I'll be the first to say that. Derrick Henry scares the shit out of me. Ryan Tannehill, not so much, not in Gillette. But Derrick Henry can truck people. He was the best running back in the in the league this year.
Well, as a two, Tannehill didn't have Derrick Henry or A.J. Brown, man. And A.J. Brown is the rookie of the year, if you ask me. Jonathan don't see it. Jonathan was talking crap out of him.
Rookie of the second half or last quarter, but I won't say that.
No, rookie of the year, man. It's the stats, dude. You know, maybe it took him a couple games to get going, but, dude, he has shown up. Tell him, I mean, what other rookie out there has dominated like he has?
Josh Jacobs.
His positions. Josh Jacobs, come on, man.
Josh Jacobs played unbelievable this year. If he didn't have an injury, he would have easily been the rookie of the year. If he's
saying though, then I mean A.J. Brown still putting up. He's first in almost every single category, man. Yards after catch. He has averaged. I think he's like 10 yards after the catch, man. And he's missing guys. He's making people miss, dude. I think it's like most yards after contact. I believe I saw this the other day. Is Derrick Henry's number 1, A.J. Brown is 3, and Corey Davis is like 5th. I mean, it's like sick, dude. Yards after contact. So when you catch the ball, how many average yards you catch? You know.
Yeah.
So
it will. I mean, how everything gets shooken up with the coaching changes last year and next year. It's interesting.
And I'm just telling you, man. Like I say, I feel good. AJ. But if you put Tom Brady in Tannehill's position, what's he doing? With AJ Brown catching that ball, running like just handing that ball off, and AJ Brown ran from scrimmage and scored a 57-yard touchdown from scrimmage on a handoff push. Like, bam, there you go, dude. I mean, the guy's a beast. The guy's a monster. He's had 6 consecutive 100-yard games. I mean, the guy is a freaking monster. And, like, you called it one of the drafts. You're like, good pickup. I was like, oh, crap, we finally got –
I knew that kid was going to be special. I was questionable about DK Metcalf, and I think rightfully so, although he's been unbelievable with Russell Wilson.
Oh, he's been captain up with him, yeah.
A.J. Brown is making Ryan Tannehill look good.
Dude, he made Mariota was looking good too, man. I mean, one of his first catches too. AJ's over 1,000 yards for the season for his rookie year, which is fucking incredible for wide receiver. Who does that? Like, man, Mike Thomas from New England, man. New Orleans. You know, I think he's just as good. In fact, is one of the Vaccaro, I can't even say his name, from the Titans he played with in New Orleans, and he's actually pushing AJ, saying, hey, Thomas is working out right now. AJ, what you doing? Hey, Thomas is out there catching balls. What you doing? And I think that's even pushing AJ to even go to the next level, man. So it's going to be great. I think we're in great hands, man. I mean, he's a beast, dude. He is, and he makes Corey Davis' job look easier because now Corey Davis has become what I think he is, a second receiver, man. So
yeah, it's pretty crazy that happened, but yeah, it should be.
I mean, yeah, because I ain't gonna pay that guy for sure. He's the second guy. You can go find a second guy anywhere, man.
But he can find a better Corey Davis anywhere. As you guys, I think you guys feel like you'll have to keep him because he was your 5th overall. But I think we got one more year on the contract, and then after that, I think we'll pick his 5th-year option. But give him one more year. We'll see what he can do. Because, I mean, he's a great blocker. That's the thing. He's throwing blocks for Derrick Henry. He's going out there doing the stuff that Bill Belichick loves. Getting his hands dirty. Get in there, make those blocks. Create situations for other guys, And that's just like, what Gronk would do. I mean, Gronk would, do his blocking too. So it's important, man. Block like anybody, but I think the interesting matchup. I guess we'll start talking about playoffs now since we have about 25 more minutes. We can make.
Let's say the best for last. The Titans and Patriots for last. Let's go to the NFC, man. How do you feel about the Seahawks Eagles?
I think it's bullshit that the Seahawks have to travel all the way to Philly to play a playoff game. I'll tell you that right now. First off,
hey, worst record. Yeah, I agree with you. I totally agree with you, dude. Just because you win it
for 1 seed to having to travel across the country, it's ridiculous.
Just because you win your division does not mean you should have a home game. Sorry. Depends on your record. You can go 9-7 and win your division. That doesn't mean you deserve a home game. Sorry. That's just the way it should be. It should decide on your record who has to go where, because then that's going to push your team to be like, hey, we're 12-4. We deserve to be at home and division champions, you know? So I totally agree with you. I think that's crap that they have to travel.
Right. As far as, I think we can all agree on that. But as far as the actual gameplay goes, I think it's going to be a closer game than most people think. And the reason is because the Seahawks have been within one score this year more times than and I don't have the exact number, but more times than I've seen ever. And the Seahawks always do it. They always make it close somehow. There's always some lucky play the other team gets, something like that. But I do think the Seahawks will take it. I think their defense has finally clicked later in the year, even having given up points. I think the really tough part for the Seahawks this week and beyond, if they continue, will be their running game. With Chris Carson gone, I mean, not to say Lynch didn't play well last week. What a joy that was to see. My fiance, she was actually at the game in Seattle, which was wicked cool. Sure, that was fun to see. But yeah, no, I think the Seahawks are going to keep the ball in the air. I think they're going to attack that backfield, even though the Eagles' backfield has continued to grow stronger throughout the year. But yeah, it should be an interesting game. I think Russell Wilson's going to tear it up. They'll put the game on his shoulders, and he'll get it done with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and even Hollister. So we'll see, man. But it's going to be a good game, I think.
I got to disagree with you, man. I just think that the Eagles are going to take it just because at home. And Carson Wentz has only got one good game left in him. It'll be close, but I just think the Eagles being at home is just going to make a difference, you know, because it's a tough place to play. And I feel like Carson Wentz is going to do something stupid tomorrow, be all crazy and sorry, Seahawks, but you have a first-round bye. I mean, you're first round out. You should have had the game at home.
Well, I'm glad we don't agree on the first one, but I think the one thing that's going to hurt the Eagles the most is that Lane Johnson might be out, and it actually might help them, but Nelson Aguilar is going to be out too. Or maybe he's questionable. They're both questionable. But I just don't think Carson Wentz has it, man. I think if anything is going to get this game done for the Eagles, it'll be their running game. I'm not quite positive if Jordan Howard's playing. Even if he is, Miles Sanders, he can tear up a defense quick. He can do it with short yardage. He can do it with 5-7 yard runs, but he does get it done. He's been spectacular as a rookie this year. So we'll see, man. But yeah, it's gonna be a hell of a game, especially because it's in Philly. If it was in Seattle, I wouldn't even question it.
If it was in Seattle, then I would totally say Seahawks all the way. But just because of home field advantage is very difficult to win in the playoffs. On the road, man. The only team to go, I believe.
Philly's a tough place to play.
Yeah, I believe the only team to really ever win through the playoffs was the Giants when they beat the Patriots in the undefeated season, because they were the wild card team in every single game they had to go on the road. And it is extremely, extremely difficult. That's why, I believe in my team. But, I mean, if we can just achieve it, then I believe we're Super Bowl champions. Because if you go on the road and playoffs time and dominate and win, I mean, it's just hard. I mean, that's why teams have to have and want that easy first round bye and lock it up throughout the playoffs, man. Because you ain't traveling. You're at home in your own bed, taking care of your business, practicing at home, doing everything you can. It's a lot different. You know, wear and tear of travel, and sorry, Seahawks. But, hey, you never know, man. I mean, Seahawks got a good team, but it's just that traveling across country is difficult for any team, even Pete Carroll and the Seahawks. So, next game up will be actually first game of Saturday, which is always now a new tradition in the NFL. The Texans in the very first wild card game. That's right. It is just a tradition like no other.
It really is. It's been a good amount of time since they've just played in the first game every playoffs, and this is really to see. So
The only time was a few years ago, I believe, when like it was the Chiefs and the Titans that won the first round, because they were like, oh, we're always going to give them the afternoon game. We won't give them the primetime game. That's why I was kind of pumped for playing with the top Patriots, because I was like, at least I know we're going to get that primetime slot, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
So it's our very first primetime game of the season, so I'm pretty pumped for that. I don't have to wake up at 10 in the morning and my day is done by 1,
You gotta make it to the fucking playoffs to get a prime time nowadays down in Nashville.
Hey, man, it's just like life's hard for these small market teams, man. It's just the way she goes, man. No respect, dude. Everybody still thinks that. I mean, but I've been amazed this year. But back to Houston, the team that I hate the most, and I think Bills are going to go down and win. I think their defense is too good for Deshaun Watson. I think Josh Allen can just do enough to get the victory.
Yeah, I don't disagree, man. I got the Bills too, especially because I want to see that Bills-Ravens game again, although I think it'll be, obvious Ravens win. But the Texans, I just don't see them having it this year, man. Like, they've had it in spurts. DeAndre Hopkins is obviously still the second best wide receiver in the league. There's no doubt in my mind. The amount of catches that guy has a year is absolutely astounding. That seems to be the only thing Bill O'Brien can get right. I think my only stipulation with this game and having second thoughts is that the Texans defense hasn't been incredibly bad, right? Like, I don't think they've been terrible. Where the Bills' offense they have been terrible this year.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. We should have won that game against them. The only reason why we lost the game against the Bills is 4 missed field goals. You can't leave 16 points on the board, man. It was shank, man.
Yeah, that's such a
man,
it sucks.
We should have won that game, man. I mean, 4 missed field goals, y'all. It was horrible. And actually, what's funny now, I'll give you this quick stab about my team. We actually, which scares the hell out of me in the playoffs, we actually have we've won more games than we made field goals this year.
No.
We only made 8.
No, that's not true.
That's true, my friend. We've only made 8 field goals this year. And we've won 9 games.
Is that because you guys might not be used to scoring so much? No offense, but your offense.
No, yeah, man. No, we have. Well, Suck Up. His injury was a lot worse than it was. Missed. We brought in a Santos kid. He missed 4. I mean, we got this new kid, actually, which scares the crap out of me. That I don't even know his name. And he's going to Gillette Stadium to kick his first field goal because he got signed to the team 3 years. I think it was 2 weeks ago. So I think last week was his first game where he just kicked extra points, and I'm scared to death.
It's going to be cold. His foot's going to be
freezing. It's going to be cold, rainy. Oh, dude, yeah. It scares the crap. All those field goals
should scare the crap out of you. It should. When I went to the Giants game with my old man this year, Rosas was kicking field goals before the game, and the first one we were hounding him. I mean, this was hours before the game, but we were really giving it to this kicker, and he doinked one the first kick, the first practice kick, and we already knew we had to win. But I'll tell you what, man, your boy's gonna be in for a wild game. It's gonna be what you gotta score. You guys gotta score, but we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get there next. Who's next up, man? In NFC,
you got the Vikings at the Saints, big man.
Oh man, I would love to see the Vikings go down there and just take this game. I would love it. I would like to hear after we played the Saints a couple weeks ago, and all the announcers talked about was, hey, Michael Thomas this, Michael Thomas that, and we got screwed on some pretty horrible calls, which I have to say, I think officiating has been the worst I've ever seen this year. It's been really horrible for all teams, even like I said, we got screwed on some big plays, but man, they were calling some bullshit on the things too. It was just an ugly officiating game. But with that, I mean, it's hard to bet against Drew Brees in the Dome and Michael Thomas, man. It just really is hard to beat.
Michael Thomas is a top 5, if not the best wide receiver I've watched in my lifetime. I mean, I know Randy Moss is up there, and all those guys are up there, but like Michael Thomas has been lighting the world on fire as far as reception numbers go, and then just yardage, man. He's just tearing it up with Drew Brees. He was tearing it up with Teddy Bridgewater, dude. Bridgewater's going. He's got to go somewhere if he's not the quarterback of the future there, but that's a different topic.
Man, he has to be, though. I mean, Teddy, just stay down there, man. You got a good place. Just wait your time out, man. Because you know what? The more years like Delaney Walker, you sit on the bench for a few years, that's the years that you ain't getting hit. Take care of your body, and you can play longer in your career, and you get paid. You know, just wait Drew Brees out. Because if Drew wins this year, man, he might be gone. He might say, you know what, I'm going to go out on top.
Yeah, no, I mean, we don't know what his plans are. He's never said how long he's going to play, nothing like that. I personally think if he knows Brady can play as long as he has, I think Drew will stay there. But that's if he stays healthy, man. And, you know, he's never really had any issues in his entire career, really. I mean, besides right before he got traded and then the whole thumb thing this year, which was kind of a fluke.
Oh, yeah, that was a fluke, yeah.
But we'll see. The real question of this game is not – it does not have to do with the Saints. It doesn't have to do with Drew Brees or Michael Thomas or the Saints defense for that matter too, who's been on fire. It really has to do with, can Kirk Cousins finally get the job done and the Vikings defense hold them off? Because the Vikings defense is nothing to fool with. They have a good defense. I'm unsure if Xavier Rhodes is playing. I'm sure he is. And I'm sure he'll probably be covering Michael Thomas. I don't see that matchup going well for him. But we'll see, man. Me personally, I think the Saints are going to take it as well, and I think the X factor is just Michael Thomas and Drew Brees. I think it's as simple as that. And if Alvin Kamara can get into the end zone again, they're not going to see a problem from the Vikings. Even if Stephon Diggs and them are hucking balls down the field, I don't see it happening. I got to see.
Yeah, like I said, I would love to see the Vikings win it, but I feel the Saints are going to pull away the victory on this one. If it was on the road,
especially in New Orleans, man, like they play well there. Rude last year, and then was that them who played against the Vikings a few years ago? This is 2 years ago. This is a rematch game from the missed tackle, isn't it? When Stephon Diggs
Oh yeah, the Minneapolis Miracle, they called it, I believe. Yeah, that was a beautiful game. That was awesome to watch those Saints fans cry a little bit because it was a hell of a play and it was a missed tackle. Hey, man, you know what? No, man, I'm saying Saints fans get a little arrogant, man. And it's like, dude, whatever, man. You guys act like you're the Patriots. Don't act like that.
Plus, I'll tell you what. If Drew Brees is slinging the ball down the field, there is no chance of flags not getting thrown somewhere after last year.
Oh, dude, yeah. They're going to make sure that. Well, the thing about last year was that it was such a blatant, like case closed pass interference, man. I mean, there was he didn't even try. Like the guy said, he was trying to stop him from scoring, and the only way he could was to hit him early. And he hit him like 3 feet too early, 10 seconds too early. I watched it. It was like, where's the flag? I was like, oh, man, that's a flag. What is it? What? Oh, shit. There's no flag?
Not to say Sean Payton's time management after that sucked, but still. I mean, they got screwed out of the game.
Yeah, it was like I say, too. You got Drew Brees, and you get the ball back. You should have won that game. That's kind of on your fault. You can't blame anything on the rest. They did get screwed on that, but I'm just saying, then you should have picked yourselves back up and gone out there and said, yes, we will win.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all, and I think it's going to happen. Well, we have about 5 to 10 minutes here, Duke, and we will move on to our game. It is time for Titans-Patriots round 2, only this time in the first round, the wild card round. I think the tickets were so cheap. I bought seats 18 rows above the field for $150 a piece, not including fees. And that is crazy. Damn,
nobody wants to see my team play. Your team, that's fucked up, man.
I really want to see your team play, though, because you know I've had a love for you guys. Like, it's a soft love, but it's a love. And
we got Vrabel, dude. Well, like you got Logan right out there. You got Butler. He'll be on the sidelines. But I mean, Deion Lewis back to dude. And like that's the thing. Like we got Dean Pease who won you guys a Super Bowl. I mean, this is like people overlook this crap. It's like, dude, we know your team, man. Vrabel knows your team. Logan Ryan knows your team. Deion Lewis knows your team. I mean, Vrabel and Brady hang out together. They go to the fucking Kentucky Derby and drink.
Remember that? He
yeah.
A trophy for the win last year, which is awesome. I love seeing that shit.
It's like, you know what? Vrabel was a guy. He's probably going to hand Brady another trophy after we beat him this week. You know, I mean, like, I just think everything's lining up for my team. Derrick Henry's playing out of his mind. He got the rushing title last week on a 52-yard run. I don't care if it was the second string or whatever. 252 yards for a touchdown is extremely difficult. A.J. Brown is lighting it up. And Tannehill has something to prove, man. And I mean, no offense, Tannehill, but you came in a good, cushy situation, man. You got Derrick Henry running the ball. Then you got A.J. Brown catching balls like it's just magic. I mean, and when you go to the game, too, tell me, when you see, you're going to be like, 18 rows up, man, so you'll be pretty close to the field. You'll see how big Derrick Henry is. It's going to blow your mind.
I'll be in there early to make sure to watch them, and I'll be on their sideline. So, I mean, I'm excited.
You'll see. It's nuts. Just let me tell you how nuts it is. Because when me and Jonathan was there, we're in Kansas City. We're pretty high up, dude. We're like, kind of cheap seats. And when Henry takes the field, he was huge, dude. I mean, it just looked like he's just a linebacker out there playing running back, dude. It's nuts, man. And watch him run, dude. But you'll get a really good perspective seeing it live, and it's just like nuts. TV kind of like, okay, you can't really see it, but man, dude, like when you see it live, you're like, wow, that's a big motherfucker. he ate his vegetables. He worked out. He is huge, man. I mean. He is just nuts, man, because he's bigger than some of the people tackling him. You know, and that's what's nuts. Yeah, and he's hard to take down.
Yeah,
he has something to prove
tomorrow, man. Like I think the key for the Patriots, first off, is special teams and defense, because I generally don't believe that our offense will win in a rain-snow mix game, and they really haven't proved that they'll win all this year. I mean, we lost to the Dolphins last week again in Gillette, which sucks. But besides that point, I think, like I said, special teams, like we need a punt block or two. You know, we're going to have to do the funky stuff to get this win, and we're going to have to do funky stuff all throughout the playoffs. But
you're going against our MVP punter, man, Brett Kern.
Right, but you're going against the all-pro special teamer in Matt Slater, so we'll see.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, man, Brett Kern, man, will pin you deep, dude. Belichick would love Brett Kern, dude. He has actually the record now for, I believe, punting the ball within the 5, 10, and 20-yard line for any punter this year. He is deadly, dude. And he's amazing. He takes it to a whole new level, because Belichick understands how important punting and kicking and special teams is. You know, there's a game changers right there. You know, that could help with defuse your team. So I think we got a little edge on that. I think the thing that worries me for us that we have to do to win this, Henry has to go off on you. Play action has to work, and we have to get pressure on Tom Brady.
Yeah, those were literally going to be my three things too. Was like,
we have to get pressure on Tom, dude.
So much that it becomes a fat pig. Like, you guys are doing it wrong, especially in the weather tomorrow. And you can't shoot the ball from that man. You can't do it. He holds on like he has lockjaws. It's incredible. So I certainly don't think that's the way for us to win.
And I mean, we have to get pressure on Tom. We have to make him uncomfortable, man. I mean, that's really it. Because that's his home. He's in Gillette. He's born and bred on that field. So we have to get pressure on him. Jeffrey Simmons, hopefully he's playing, and he's a big boy. He'll get up in there. Jarrell Casey. But that offensive line, man, they can show up. You know, Brady does get, even at his age of 40-something, he gets that ball out fast, dude. He's always understood to get that ball out fast. So it's going to be a good game, man. It's going to be great. We got 2 wild cards. We got 2 games Saturday and 2 games Sunday. It's the good best time of year to bet because, you know, we usually know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
these are like, we know these teams.
Favorites, but we'll see.
Well, the thing about that though is they always give the home team at least 3 points in the NFL, so you're always favored. So really, that's kind of a compliment. I mean, I think last time we met you guys, we were actually like I think a 10-point underdog.
I would say that
there was some crazy crap out of that. We were like 10 to 12-point underdogs. So for Vegas to give us that kind of respect, yeah, I mean that's nothing. I mean. That we could easily, yeah. I mean, that's a close game for what it is, you know. I mean, I think the New Orleans Saints game is a 14-point. Actually, I'm misquoting this, but the Vikings, I think it's like 10 points, man, 10 or 12 points. So that's kind of disrespectful.
Yeah. No.
Like,
all right. So let me ask you this then, because I have to be in just a few minutes here, which is why we didn't take a break this time for everyone wondering why we haven't. If you had to pick one player, and I think I know who it's going to be, but if you had to pick one player for the Titans to be, you know, the X factor, who would it be?
Has to be Derek. Has to be. In that weather, yeah. I mean, it's just going to be ugly, nasty weather up there this time of year. It's cold. It's raining. It's snowing. And this is playoff football. You have to be able to run the damn ball.
Yeah, I don't disagree. Mine's going to be a little surprising to you. It's not going to be Stephon Gilmore. It's not going to be Tom Brady. Although if Tom Brady has a bad game, as bad of a game as he did, you know, against the Dolphins, letting Eric Rowe just catch a floating ball in between 2 players, which I think we'll see. I think he'll throw an interception against you guys and get your team going, unfortunately. But I do think, and I know this is weird, but John Simon, our defensive lineman, John Simon, has been swallowing up runners all year. He's done a great job. He's in and out every other play. I'd say nobody owns his jersey in New England. Most people don't even know he's out there when he's out there. But I don't see how you couldn't, because he's been swallowing dudes all year. So hopefully he gets a good amount of playing time and he makes a difference out there. But it will be a good game. You can guarantee that it'll be a close, hard fought smash ball type of game, and the defenses are both going to make a difference in this one.
Like I say, I feel good for the rest of the playoffs. If we can get past you guys, I feel really good about going down and seeing the Ravens. I think the Ravens are beatable. I think that, again, they were too cocky down there. If you didn't hear, my puppy dog of the week is the radio host that called the Buffalo a town of losers. And so what did the Bills Mafia do? Bill by 34 Award of the Week. They gave to the guy's charity.
No shit. No
yeah.
shit, man.
Just like they did for Eddie Dalton back in the day, like a few years ago. They gave all that money to his charity to say, eat that, buddy. So, because you know what? Ravens, you guys won 2 Super Bowls, and you guys won that off of Bill Belichick's back after he took that team in Cleveland and built that team, okay? So don't act like you know, just some legacy and just killing it every year. No. And Baltimore, how about the Orioles, Baltimore? You want to talk about some losers, man? They haven't been relevant since Cal Ripken Jr. in 95. So take that, Baltimore. Don't call it.
That was the year I was born, man. 25 years ago.
Yeah, so don't call another town a town of losers when you guys are not the city of champions. So that's pretty much it, man. So it's gonna be a great week. This is my favorite time of year, man. Wild card weekend, man. We got 2 games set.
I'm not used to watching my own team play in it, but it is a fun weekend, and I think that might be why
it's a fun weekend, dude.
So cheap. Nobody knew there was a fucking game this weekend. They're all confused. I don't know. I don't know. But I have to say to you personally, Duke, that I am proud of your team. I'm proud of Ryan Tannehill specifically. I'm proud of Marcus Mariota for the way he's handled himself and Derrick Henry, and I think it's going to be a great year next year for you guys, and I'm excited for you just to make it to the so yeah, congrats.
When Tom comes in after we win our Super Bowl to get us back-to-back Super Bowls, yeah. Well, storyline. Tannehill leaves for more money, and then Tom comes in and says, "No, I will take you back to the promised land." And then after that, we drop off for 10 to 15 years. But I'll be happy. I don't care. We got 2 Super Bowls. Who cares? I'll just replay that tape over and over again. Yeah, well, you know what? Well, at least we're not the Browns, damn it. Or the other 6 teams that haven't won anything.
Well, that is certainly something we can all, thank the Lord for every year, Duke. And I think there's just one more thing for each of us to say, buddy.
Oh, yes, man. Go Titans.
Go Patriots. We wish you guys a fun wild card weekend. Thanks for joining.